Welcome back to a Chart Nerd technical analysis video. Today we will be discussing the likes of HBAR against USDT on the weekly and monthly timeframes. Now before I start, this video is not financial advice and is all for educational and entertainment purposes only. However, I hope you do enjoy the content. So analyzing HBAR here on its weekly time frame, you can see since the early doors of November, it has had a really nice pump of around 230% and is currently sitting at its previous resistance levels that it was at back in, if I just brighten that up a little bit, it might be wise, wouldn't it? The previous resistance levels back in March of this year. So it's had this sort of V-shaped recovery, really nice, where it came down for a very long time and it's just instantly within the space of a couple of weeks, ran back up to this previous level of resistance. So this was a really nice V-shaped recovery and we have seen a really impulsive move. Now within doing so, we've got two EMAs on the chart here, this yellow EMA, which is the 20 EMA, and we've got this red EMA, which is the 55. Now I use these indicators as guidance tools for bullish and bearish crosses to indicate a bullish or a bearish trend flip, and right now we are coming out of the worst sort of times. We had a bear cross back in July and you'll notice since that cross we had a really sort of steep correction back down, and what actually happened at this level for HBAR is it came back to a very key level of support. Now at this level of support we've seen a beautiful reaction, so you can see in the past that we hovered around this area back in January of 2023, we had a wick down here in June of 2023, and we've just had another touch in October of 2024. Now each point of contact on these trend lines were both fruitful entries for HBAR, so if you did catch this, fair play to you. It was a crucial support zone for HBAR, and within doing so, sorry I've lost my sort of trajectory there, we're looking at these EMAs and the 20 is just from this sort of pump, we're dragging this 20 and 55 EMA across, and if we get a bullish cross, this is a really good signal here for HBAR moving forward. Now what tends to happen on bullish crosses is, ironically, you get a pump to drag the EMAs up, okay, but when you actually form the cross, normally you come in from a top and drag back down to the cross for support and then get the explosion. Okay, so right now we've had this sort of impulsive move. We ran up to a key level of resistance at 14 cents. I've been sharing some targets on X and this was one of them, the 050 fib, which I'm going to show you in a second, but we've run into a key level of resistance at 14 cents. We've sort of returned the gains that was previously lost. If we go from this sort of high and look how long it actually was to get down to this low, 231 days of downtrend have been wiped out by literally 14 to 15 days of uptrend. It's crazy how this works, isn't it? But it was a key level of support. The EMAs are being dragged up here looking to form a bull cross, but right now we are at key resistance, and I think 14 cents might offer some sort of fruitful opportunity here, where, as I said, on the weekly time frame, when you do get a bull cross, you'll see that you have an impulsive move and tend to have a correction to the cross formation before continuing. So right now we've had the impulsive move. Could we potentially be coming back to a key level of support over the next couple of weeks now, letting these EMAs drag up and eventually form this bullish cross and get the bounce on the cross and then go for the breakout? I think it's something we should keep our eyes on here, but it's very nice to see the impulsive move that we've had over the past couple of weeks. It's a lovely recovery, but I wanted to show you why this level is such a key level of resistance and why it might be a struggle to break through on this first attempt. So if we go from the low that we are at now, okay, and the low that we're bouncing from, this key level of support down here at 0.041 back to the all-time high right here, if we just get that bang on, if we go straight back to the all-time high from these lows, you'll see that we've ran into the golden ratio as resistance. So this is 050 here at 15 cents, which we've actually wicked into this week, is the key resistance level. And again, if we just zoom over to the left here and drag this EMA across a little bit further, you'll notice that in the past this was an area of support and resistance. So there's multiple points of contact. We lost resistance straight through in this dip here in 2022, but this is an area where we've had multiple points of contact, wicks as previous support, and equally now we're seeing them as resistance. So this is why I think it would be nice over the next week or two to have a little cool off, let these sort of EMAs drag up over time, form the cross, backtest the EMAs, and then go for the breakout. Whereas if we do sort of see this really impulsive move and come up to the 0618 here, which is also a potential, guys, if this thing really wants to kickstart and get into gear, I think 21 cents could potentially be on the cards before any call off, and this impulsive move could continue here and take out this sort of wick high, and it's already taken out these previous candle closes of March, so it has every right to do so, I would say. And there's a cluster up here of resistance in the past, previous support that could act as resistance moving forward if it does get met. So I think that the top out is roughly between 15 to 21 cents, and at that point I believe either a pullback at either one would be likely, and we'll get this sort of bullish cross, which is a massive bullish signal, get the retest, and then get the touch for support to get out of the woods here. Now I do have bullish targets for HBAR, and I wanted to show you my end of cycle targets. Now I believe we could meet the 1272 fib extension if this is the local low that we've put in October here, and we've come back to this multi-year key level of support, and we're retracing back to the all-time high. I'm going to get the 12 fib extension 272. If we manage to get into price discovery, I think if this ratio gets cleared, if we can cleanly sort of see a nice build up and a breakout of this golden ratio, I think the all-time high could be tackled quite easily in the coming sort of months here, and I think we could push on to $1.20. I think we could see a max euphoria stage, a $1.20 HBAR this cycle, where it takes out this high, and what we would have is we've got this macro low, you've got a macro high. This would have been an accumulation zone over the past sort of 2 to 3 years right now, where we're just caught between a rock and a hard place. I need to let me get a proper box on that sort of zone. You can see that this was previously support. This is 0.50 at 15 cents, and we've just literally been caught in this range for a very long time. So since May of 2022 all the way into October, we've just been going sideways, and right now we're getting that impulsive break. So if we do sort of tackle out of this 15 to 21 cent range for HBAR, then I think easily the all-time high could be met, and at max euphoria I think $1.20 this cycle is a potential, and from current prices that would still be another 7 to 8x on the cards. Now again, if you did get in a couple of weeks ago and managed to get these lows, this would have been an even bigger move of roughly a 28x. So again, you have to consider your positions here and whether you want to wait and see if another entry comes on a pullback before an explosion, and maybe we can get something else on the cards here, a better entry point, or again, if you've got that much conviction in the project, who knows. But nothing that I say is financial advice, guys. I am not a financial advisor. In regards to support or pullback areas or zones to sort of retest to look for a key area of support, I think pushing it the 0.50 at 8 cents, but there is a key level of resistance that could now be turned into support, which was acting as resistance for a long while, and this is around the 10 cent area. So the 10 cent area is also a very sort of crucial area if we do see a pullback over the next week or two. You can see it was previously resistance here at the 55 EMA, it was resistance here back in December of 2023. We had some choppiness around it here, but it has been a previous level of resistance that we were struggling to break out of, and we've just cleanly swept through that. So if we do see any sort of pullback, maybe coming back to 10 cents and then looking for the breakout could be on the cards here for HBAR. So overall, guys, that's my sort of outlook on HBAR. I do think it could get to $1.20 this cycle quite easily, and that's a conservative target. If you really wanted to get max euphoria, I think the 1618 could potentially be met, and this gets up to $3. So from current price, if we look at this sort of move here and we get really explosive over the next sort of 3 to 4, 5, 6 months, I think we could be looking at a potential 20x even from current prices after this sort of 2x rally over the past couple of weeks. So yeah, hold on to your horses, guys. Nothing that I said is financial advice, and I hope you enjoyed the content from Chart Nerd TA. Take care. Peace out.